Hello, my dear students. How are you? Hope you all are fine and studying regularly at home. As we have studied about Chapter 6 Life Processes, two topics. The first one is nutrition and second one is respiration. Myself Neeraj and I am back with our new topic, that is transportation. What is transportation? Transportation is carry the material from one part to another. Like we have to carry digested food as well as oxygen from one part of body to another part. So there is transport system that is known as circulatory system in human beings, and it consists of blood, heart and blood vessels. And in plants there are xylem and phloem. Let us start with transportation in human beings, and main objectives of studying transportation in human beings are to study about transportation, circulatory system, heart and its functioning, how do blood enter and leaves the heart, and about the double circulation in human beings. Blood carries food, oxygen, carbon dioxide, waste, etc. in dissolved form, and salt are also transported by the blood. So heart pump blood to body. In humans, things that need to be treated are digested food, waste, etc. And there are two types of system. First one is circulatory system, which consists of blood and heart as well as blood vessels. Blood contains plasma, and there are three types of blood cells present in it. Red blood cells that contains hemoglobin, which carry oxygen, and white blood cells that are known as soldiers of the cell, as it protects us from diseases. Platelets that help in clotting of blood contains liquid part that is known as plasma, and it carries carbon dioxide, food and waste in dissolved form. So regulate the temperature of our body. And there are three types of blood vessels through which blood flows: arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries carries oxygenated blood from heart to the body, and veins carry deoxygenated blood from body to heart. Capillaries are thin-walled blood vessels where exchange of gases takes place. And last, our pumping organ is heart. Let's study about our pump, that is the heart. The heart is a muscular organ which is as big as your fist. As the oxygen and carbon dioxide both have to be transported by the blood, so heart has different chambers so that oxygen rich blood doesn't get mixed with the carbon dioxide rich blood. Since the carbon dioxide rich blood has to reach the lungs, so that carbon dioxide has to be removed, and the oxygenated blood from the lungs has to be brought back to the heart, and this blood is then pumped to all part of the body. As you can see in figure that there are two upper parts that are known as auricles and lower parts that are known as ventricles. There are four chambers: right auricle, right ventricle, left auricle and left ventricle. Blood enters from body by vena cava to the right auricle, that is deoxygenated blood, and when right auricle contracts, blood enters into right ventricle. From right ventricle, blood is carried to the lungs with help of pulmonary artery. In lungs, blood gets oxygenated and carried back to the heart by the pulmonary veins in the left auricle. And when left auricle contracts, blood enters the left ventricle, from where it is transported to all part of body through the help of the main artery, that is aorta. Heart pumps the blood at high pressure, and arteries carries oxygenated blood from heart to all parts of body. So arteries are thick walled. Veins carry deoxygenated blood from all parts of body to the heart. So veins are not thick walled as blood is not under high pressure in it. Valves are present between auricles and ventricles to prevent the backflow of blood. That means they confirm that blood flows only in one direction, that is unidirectional flow of blood. Now let us study how oxygen enters the bloods in the lung. The separation of right side and left side of heart is useful to keep oxygenated and deoxygenated blood from mixing, so that there is efficient supply of oxygen to all parts of body. And animals having high energy needs, and they use this energy to maintain their body temperature. Blood in blue is deoxygenated blood and in red is oxygenated. As you can see that from body, blood enters through vena cava in right auricle, that is deoxygenated blood, and from right auricle to right ventricle, and through pulmonary artery it goes to lungs, where it gets oxygen. After that, oxygenated blood comes back to heart through pulmonary vein, and it enters the right auricle, then to right ventricle, from where it is pumped to all parts of body through aorta, as I have told you earlier. And this is artery which carries oxygenated blood, and vein that carry deoxygenated blood. There are between capillaries at which exchange of gases takes place. In animals like amphibians or reptiles, there are three-chambered heart, and they can tolerate some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Fishes have only two chambers to their heart, and the blood is pumped to the gills, oxygenated, and passes directly to the parts of body. Thus blood goes only once through heart of fishes, whereas in human beings, first deoxygenated bloods enter in right auricle, then right ventricle, and gets oxygenated in lungs, and after again it comes back to heart in left auricle and left ventricle, as blood goes through heart twice during each cycle. So this is known as double circulation. When the deoxygenated blood is pushed by right auricle into right ventricle, then into lungs for oxygenation, this is known as pulmonary circulation. Whereas when blood flows from left auricle to left ventricle and then pumped to whole parts of body, this is known as systematic circulation. These both are the parts of double circulation. There are three types of blood vessels, as I have told you earlier also. There are arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries are the vessels which carry blood away from the heart to various organs of the body, and the blood emerges from the heart under high pressure. Therefore, arteries have thick elastic walls, whereas veins collect the blood from different organs and bring it back to the heart. Therefore, they do not need any thick walls, because the blood is not any under pressure. So they have valves so that blood flows only in one direction. Arteries divide into smaller vessels to bring the blood in contact with the cells, and these smallest vessels are known as capillaries. Their exchange of material between the blood and surrounding takes place with the help of this thin wall. These capillaries are then joined together with veins that carry deoxygenated blood from the organs to the heart. Let us see pictorially how blood flows through a body. As you can see, the upper portions are known as auricles and lower portions are known as ventricles. There are valves present in between auricle and ventricle. Auricles contract. Blood is pushed into the ventricle. Receive blood from different parts of body, whereas ventricles pushes the blood to different parts of body, and there is no backflow of blood from ventricle to auricle. Deoxygenated blood enters the right auricle through vena cava and then into right ventricle, through which, through help of pulmonary artery, it goes into lungs for oxygenation. In capillaries, there must be exchange of gases as well as solids takes place. Capillaries are very thin walled blood vessels, and with help of pulmonary artery, blood enter into the lungs, then getting oxygen, and after oxygenation blood enters the left auricle and then into left ventricle, through which blood is pumped to all parts of the body through the main artery that is known as aorta, as it is very clear in the figure also. Here the blood entering the left auricle, then into left ventricle, from where it is pumped to the all parts of the body. Only pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood, as all other veins carry deoxygenated blood, whereas pulmonary arteries is only artery that carry deoxygenated blood, whereas all arteries carries oxygenated blood. Arteries are deeply seated inside the body, whereas veins are superficial, means they can be seen. It is very clear from the figure the mechanism of blood flow. From lungs, oxygenated blood enters into left chamber with the help of pulmonary vein and then to whole body. From body, deoxygenated blood enters into right chambers and through pulmonary artery it moves on into the lungs. This is the another diagram showing the mechanism of blood flow. As you can see, from body, blood enters the right auricle, then right ventricle. From right ventricle, it moves to the lungs through pulmonary artery, and it gets oxygen from the lung. The oxygenated blood then enters the heart through the pulmonary vein in the left auricle, then left ventricle, and to rest of the body. What will happen if we get injured? Then blood starts coming out of the body. If this will continue, then there will be loss of blood in our body. So avoid this. There are platelets in blood that help in clotting of blood. Avoid the blood loss, as platelets form a clot at the point of injury. And there is another type of fluid that is involved in transportation is lymph. Through the pores in the walls of capillaries, some amount of plasma, proteins and blood cells escape into the intracellular spaces in the tissue that form the tissue fluid, that is lymph. It is similar to the plasma of blood but colorless and having less proteins. Lymph carries digested and absorbed fat from intestine and drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. Main functions of lymph include it protects the body by killing the germs drained out of the body tissue with the help of lymphocytes, and lymph help in removing the waste products like fragments of dead cells, etc. It also takes part in nutritive process of the body. Thanks so much and have a nice time.